There's a protocol that's available called the Simple Network Management Protocol, or SNMP, and SNMP actually gives you some ability to check configuration settings on a particular system. So SNMP is really useful for not only checking configuration settings, but in some cases you may be able to set parameters as well. And one of the things about SNMP is it's been around for a really long time, and so it's got some weaknesses in the version that is often run. So the version that's often run, and I forgot to specify the version number here, I want to run version 1. And the thing about version 1 is often there were community strings, and community string is really kind of like a pre-shared key or a password. And the community strings that were typically used were fairly well known. So the read-only community string would be public, and the read-write community string would be private. So there's two community strings. One is for read-only, and the other is for read-write. So public and private are the two well-known community strings. If you run across an SNMP server, you could certainly try this little tactic out and see if you get some data back. So I'm going to do an SNMP walk of this particular system here. And SNMP walk is actually going to check with SNMP and see all of the variables that it has configured. And the variables are actually configured in these things called management information bases, or MIBs. And the MIBs define the data that's available as well as the format and how you would access it. So what we've got here is we've actually got a system that's a Linux system. The name is Bill. This is the kernel version number here. And we've got time ticks, which indicates it's actually been up for a day. And we've got some other strings that are available here. And actually down here we've got the boot image, so we actually know where the boot image is as well as the name. And here's the root device that is being booted from. So this is actually the disk ID that we are booting off from. So you can see we can actually get a fair amount of detail from SNMP if the administrator hasn't configured it properly and closed off specific settings, or not provided details like the ones that you'll find available here. And also, if they have left it wide open for anybody to get access to, then SNMP is a really good data collection tool, and SNMP Walk is a really good utility that you can use in order to gather all of this data very quickly and easily. As you see, I just ran SNMP walk, I specified the version and the community string, and then just the server IP or the system IP, and SNMP walk went off and did the rest for me, collected all of this great data that I may be able to use in terms of trying to figure out whether I may be able to find some vulnerabilities. Certainly here's the Linux kernel version 3.2.0, and I could do some poking and see whether there are some vulnerabilities that are related to that particular version or not, and whether there are some exploits available. So SNMP is a really great protocol for attackers who are looking for information, and SNMP Walk is a really good tool in order to be able to make use of SNMP and pull the information off the system that's got an SNMP server on it.